This is our new show, Yeti Set Go. We have rotating cast members. Tonight's cast members are Kurtis James, Bloud, also known as Sean, and then we've got Coach Slippy, aka Jeff, and then me, I am Chase Viking Redbeard, or Viking Redbeard Chase, I don't know. You tell me. But
whatever makes more sense.
So what do we have on the agenda for this evening, gentlemen? Because I don't know.
You don't recall.
God.
Okay, let me pull up the.
No, I'm kidding. I got it. Okay, so tonight's show is all about all the terrible launchers we've been dealing with, and now
don't be biased at all off the start.
Not biased, and all of the terribleness that comes along with a fragmented everything. So we've got not necessarily new contenders, but new things that are kind of pissing me off. But I don't want to go into that right away. What's the format?
I think you just did.
A little bit. I mean, you just jumped right to the shark, man.
All right. So, if anyone is unaware of what is going on, it's the Epic Game Store launcher. The entire Epic Game Store is just a nightmare right now.
Okay, hold on. Try to not be completely up your own ass about a topic. Jesus.
Well, I was gonna let other people voice their opinions, which I hope differ from mine. We can't all just be a fucking epic.
Yeah.
Okay. The big thing with this is that look at what they're competing with, though, and should they have cleaned it up a little bit before? I don't know. Even before
that's not even Chase's issue. Like, so. The big issue people, especially like Chase, are having with it is that the Epic Game Store, they started that thing, and then Metro Exodus was supposed to come out here shortly. Or is it already out now?
It's not yet. Out.
Okay, it's coming out like in the next couple weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden, this game, which has been pre-sailing on Steam for a long time, is an exclusive to the Epic Game Store. And people lost their shit about it. Like, if you pre-ordered it on Steam, you still get it on Steam. If you didn't, now you have to get it on the Epic Game Store. And that's it. Like, people have lost their shit over this, and I, for one, don't fucking get it. Like, the inconvenience of you, if you didn't pre-order it already, now you have to get it on a separate launcher. So? Like, Chase, I know you hate it. Tell me why it's so bad.
It's more the principle of the matter. It's like, honestly, having a second launcher on my computer isn't going to like inconvenience me terribly. I mean, I've got Steam, I've got the League of Legends launcher, and that's about it. Like I guess I have the Blizzard Battle.net launcher as well. And that's already like 3 launchers to play one game on one launcher, one game on the other launcher, and then 700 games on Steam. It's like,
don't forget Origin.
I was gonna say, you can't forget about the other ones that you have out there too. I mean, EA has one now too, don't they?
I was just talking about the ones I personally have. Like, I was gonna get to Origin as well. Like, I had Origin installed at one point back when I played a lot of The Sims, but now that like SimCity 5 was terrible, and I am a little bit too old to play The Sims. It's like I don't actually have Origin installed anymore.
Can one be too old to play The Sims? Because I don't think there's an age limit on burning virtual people alive.
No,
I think that's always good.
Maybe I just wanted to waste countless hours somewhere else.
I think there's better venues to burn people alive than but I think that's a different stream.
That's gonna be episode 9.
Tune in later.
So Bloud, what's your take on the Epic, specifically the Epic launcher, at least?
Besides the fact that there's a bajillion ass launchers, which I don't really care about the launchers, it's the fact that their stores are like, Steam has this like monopoly on the video game like digital download store, and besides OG, what are the other ones?
There's Good Old Games, Origin, Uplay exists. I mean, now there's other little ones like Discord and Twitch even have their own store.
But they're just not like, Steam hasn't changed in, I mean, they update fucking every time you load your computer up, but the app itself is slow as fuck. Like, I think Steam needs the competition because it has not changed since I got it, and like, oh, they added like cards and stupid stuff, but they're not competitive anymore. Like, if you go on the Epic, if you actually open the Epic Games store, it's snappy, like the layout is nicer, it's easier to find things. So like they're as a store, they're more like as a digital marketplace like Amazon, they're more up to date. And then the fact that Steam, I do have several $100s on Steam that I would just never give up. But if someone could make it better, or like Steam has it, like the chat mentioned, like where you can add non Steam games to your launcher, then
you can do that.
Yeah, you can. So if I could make all my Steam games go to a launcher that doesn't take 5 minutes to open because I have to update every goddamn time, then
that's when you turn off the automatic updates for Payday 2. Anyone who owns that game knows that issue. Like, you have to turn it off at some point because it updates every like 3 days and it takes a half an hour. It's what the hell?
Yeah, right. So... No, I mean, I actually understand that because, okay, everybody knows I have crap internet, and anybody hanging out with me knows that. So I have the same problem with that, is that every single time I try to launch Steam or something, it always has to update the launcher, the games then afterwards. So you're looking at a good half hour before I'm even sitting there going, okay, I can finally play this. Even for something that I've had forever. So Steam getting some competition that way would be great, because you're looking at it as, okay, can we condense our services? Can we do something to make it better where it streams better? Stuff like that going on, So, I mean, what can Steam do to outshine the rest of them again? It was the first big, real digital download, in my opinion. But that's what they've only got going for them now. Whereas you go to other launchers, it's like Bloud was saying, it's direct, it's very fast and everything. So, what can Steam do to keep up with something like that? I think personally they're going to have to tear it down and figure out something to streamline it. So
yeah, I mean, I saw like the biggest argument that I kind of understood from people online, like complaining about the Epic Games Store and all that, is that, the exclusivity thing. They're like, oh, we don't like that, we have to get it there. But I mean, that's been the case with any Blizzard game and now Activision games and any EA game for, years already. So I'm not sure why, like, with the Epic Games Store, it's different, other than, like, yeah, they don't own Metro Exodus, but it's like, okay, it's not different in just the sense. And then I was seeing this comparison, well, it's like, it's annoying in the same way that I have to, there's exclusives on Hulu and Netflix and whatever. It's like, no, that's not the same, because you have to pay a subscription to feed all those. Like, if you paid a subscription fee to have Steam and to have the Epic Game Store and all those, then totally, I would be like, fuck this, it's really dumb. But it's just like, okay, where are you buying it? Where are you launching it from? And I mean, like Bloud said, like the launcher that they have is good. And I think just in general, any real competition is good for the marketplace, and there's been no real competition for Steam for 20 years now. So it's like,
beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think Steam itself launched in the mid 90s or something like that. Like, I know, or no, maybe it was late 90s, early 2000s, but
I'd say probably early 2000s, whenever online gaming really started taking off.
Well, I know it already existed in like 2003, because that's when I started my account. Or no, I guess it was 2007, but still. It's like, okay, it's been around forever with no competition. And, Jeff mentioned it's hard to find things in there sometime, and not necessarily because the design, actually I think Bloud mentioned it too, like, it's hard to find things, but that's partly because it's so inundated with crap. Like, not just shovelware, like things you found on, like, the Wii and the PS2. Like, games that are legitimately not games. Like, they're asset flips and shit like that. And, I don't know, I feel like it's great that, any developer can get a game onto Steam, but at the same time, it causes an issue where it's like, how do I find anything worthwhile anymore?
Yeah, they don't...
I was just going to say there's that, but then also, say you have a game in your library. This is just a personal thing here, but say you have a game in your library, you just like, well, that was free to play. I don't want it on there anymore. You can't get rid of it.
I mean, you can delete it now. There was a time where you couldn't, but you can do it now. Yeah, it's been
that's different
for about
now.
a year and a half.
Shows how much I use Steam anymore.
League of Legends has consumed all.
Well, that and Magic the Gathering, but that's another discussion.
I mean, you guys are talking about how it looks bad and outdated, which it does, but they do have themes available that you can get. If you don't use Metro, you should.
Yep.
Metro theme?
I was saying Metro's the theme, not the game we were talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, the theme is Metro. Metro for Steam, so yes. It just kind of streamlines it. It makes it a little bit more modern. It is like supposed to copy the Metro look that Microsoft was initially going for with Windows 10.
I thought they were going to copy your Metro look.
Hey.
But
ow.
No, I don't know. I do agree that there's a lot of bloatware and a lot of crap, a lot of shovelware, a lot of asset flip games, like just a lot of junk that no one's ever gonna buy, and if they did, why? But there's also I don't know. I end up with a lot of that crap through like all the humble bundles and stuff, and it's still nice to keep everything in one curated
place.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like that's their best like feature, is because it's been there for so long, staying power. Like the Epic Store, like just getting off its feet is good, but like they give you that free game or the free games every 2 weeks, which is something that Xbox Live and PS4 do, or PS Play. But they also, at least Discord is built, like getting to my back in like my developer life, Discord's built on Chromium, which is based on the Chrome browser and Electron. So that thing is fast as fuck. It updates fast. Discord itself updates fast. It stores fast. Like,
does it also eat all your RAM when it wants to?
Yes,
like
it does.
Chrome does.
100%. But Steam eats just as much RAM and the CPU too, and it's because it's an old school Microsoft app. Like, it's not built, like, it basically needs to be redone, but they keep just reiterating, adding more crap to it. That's why it's so slow to start up. Like search, like they don't use any of the newest new age search, which is like based on users, like what they click on. So like learning search, it's not AI, it's called predictive something.
Right.
Predictive.
It's not personalizing your search results.
Yeah, not even personalized. It's predictive based on what other people, like not even just you, what other people click on. So that's a thing that most stores use, like Amazon. I'm hoping that the I know the Xbox stuff does. Maybe the PlayStation one, but it's just a text search on Steam, which is god awful. If you have like Magic, I like to play Magic game, like where there's sorcery and stuff. That. I don't want to play Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I pointed the wrong way.
I don't know which direction he is, but
he's below me.
Chase has got it.
But if I type in Magic, I'm not getting Skyrim. I'm getting Magic the Gathering, or some sort of other sorcery game. They're just not evolving at all. So it's just like their app is like they. Yeah.
You mentioned, though, from a developer standpoint, that the back end on the Discord is really good. Have you kind of checked out the Epic Game Store and their back end, like how it feels, or just
I haven't downloaded it, but I haven't downloaded the actual Epic Game Store. I had the launcher, which
for Fortnite.
No, for Paragon. I just still have it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That game. Rip.
I know, rip in peace. We can talk about that when I wish that game made it. But no, their game store is pretty good, but I don't know. I think that just be building from scratch, anything can be better than. There's this thing in software and everything. We never want to take away a feature, so it's super hard to like pare down and rebuild. So like Steam is just such this layer of just like features that aren't necessarily working together. So to take it all back and then rebuild on a faster platform is just going to be a nightmare, especially when you're trying to support Mac and PC.
Yeah. I mean, and at
So-
this point, after 2 decades of that platform, their technical debt's just absurd.
Oh, 100%. So I think, I do think that Steam will eventually phase out, but it will be a crawl, like who replaces them is going to be a all-out brawl. And I think Discord, honestly, is one of the top contenders for me as a developer. But Epic Games, I mean, they have the Fortnite crowd, which they could just get in on the young people and just blow it out the water too. So I don't know.
Right. I mean, from a company standpoint, I think Epic's making all the right moves here. Like they had all this money from Fortnite. They tested out if they could get away from other people's stores with their mobile, because rather than putting it in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, you had to just go to a link and download it directly.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea being there that all of their microtransactions, they're not sharing a percentage of that with either Google or Apple. And it worked. It worked really, really well. And
I
they're
wasn't
like,
even aware of that. That's really awesome.
And so they're like, maybe we should also kind of do that with our desktop stuff. And like using all that money they had to like invest somewhere, which is kind of what Steam did when they Valve did when they released Steam, is they had a bunch of money from recent successes. And so they developed their own platform and then brought other people onto that platform. And I mean, Valve is only sort of a games company anymore. Like the last game they released, the last 2 games they released were Dota 2 and then just recently Artifact, the Dota 2 card game. And that's flopped super duper hard. Like, we're still waiting on Portal 3, Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3. You know, basically they stop everything at 2 and just decide to end it there because Valve makes all their money from Steam.
Well, then this might be a good time for them to release Steam 2, and then we'll be good for like the next 20 years.
Yeah. If someone like Discord or Epic Games released a scanner, like a way to scan your computer for games, which exists. There's a thing to do that those things already exist, to pull all of your games from Steam into whatever launcher they are on, then a lot of the argument for Steam would just get blown away. But the other thing is,
Right.
they don't support, other launchers don't support indie games as well. So that's my biggest argument for Steam. I have a lot against Steam because it's just slow as fuck.
Yeah.
I just can't stand it. But
Well,
the fact
so-
there's all these indie games, they had the green light program or whatever, and
The game scanner technology you're talking about, that's kind of like what NVIDIA uses when you go into your graphics card. You can optimize games and whatnot. It just gives you a list of the games that you've got downloaded.
so yeah, that all exists. They just need to.
But that's only for games you've got downloaded.
Oh, true. Yes.
Not necessarily games that you have like in a backlog library. Like I haven't downloaded all 680 plus of the games that I have in Steam.
True.
Yeah. Chase, it sounds like you're in slow-mo. I don't know.
I know. I thought
Is it just me, or did
No, it sounds like that's
Or
me.
you-
Chase
just take it-
doing his James Earl Jones impersonation?
Just took a big
Or-
bong rip, and then you just
Here.
folded it
He
in.
did, yeah.
Is that, yeah, that's what I thought you did there for a second. I was like,
Sure, built into Windows, maybe. Windows and, Mac.
No.
Whatever,
no, we do not let Microsoft do any of that.
No, okay. Microsoft would fuck it up, but the other thing would be to buy a third-party program, and then you're just adding more money in. But if there was just a aggregator launcher or an aggregate launcher that looked good and brought everything in, and then you were just using Steam and the Epic Game Store and all those things as just digital storefronts. Maybe that would be ideal, but at the same time, then you're just you're pulling one more thing into the mix, and you're still going to have to download all your games and updates through these storefronts, most likely. So, yeah.
There's also newer in technologies called God damn it, I can't remember the names of things. Something web apps where they're basically your computer treats them like applications, but they're actually just going to whatever browser they have built in, mostly Chromium, which is basically Chrome, and then they do all of their stuff through that browser, but it's still an app. So like you can have all of these apps that update themselves on their side, and then you don't have to download any updates because every time you go to it, you're getting the newest thing. So I think that's kind of almost what Discord does, but I think that a lot of programs will go to this, and I do think the first gaming platform that goes to this will be ahead of the curve. And I do think Epic is stationed because they don't have like their Epic Game Store is like a fucking listing. They just have like pictures and games, and you just look, and then you can search. So they have the least amount of things to migrate. Or Discord. I'm voting Discord or Epic Games is the next big game store.
It strikes me so weird that like because I only use Discord as like a chat and
I've not
communication app.
Same.
And so it strikes me so weird that they have a game store. Like I'm aware of it, but I immediately click away from that front page every time I open it to like wherever I want to like communicate, and I never go back.
Yeah, I've not got a game off of this thing, but if I wasn't already invested in Steam, like I would be using it because it's just so much easier, it's so much faster. Like search, yeah.
So I mean, we had kind of talked about one of the topics we. Let's pick up where we were, if we can vaguely remember.
Okay.
I mean, we were talking about like what Epic Games could do right to like make them actually succeed,
oh, no,
and
the camera's all fucked up. What the hell?
Radiant had said something about widgets. That is strange. That stuff must have not saved or something. I don't know. So you can fix that while we're talking, I guess.
Okay, you.
But I don't know if Radiant will come back and tell us what he meant by widgets.
I mean, if you're, I think maybe Discord.
But I think in general, like Epic's taking the right tact to start. I think by doing exclusives. Granted, some people in the gaming community are backlashing, but I don't know. I find it ridiculous personally. And it's not going to stop me. Like, I'm excited for the fact that they're bringing Journey to PC finally. I've been wanting to play Journey since it came out on PS3, and I just was not going to own a PS3 ever. And so now it's like, oh, I finally get to play that game. I will buy it on Epic Game Store, you know? And I do think it's weird that just the one game they got an exclusive on that like has caused all this hubbub has almost overshadowed for the time being the good things they're doing for developers, because their cut is what, 12%, 15% or something. It's way lower. Steam's is 30. Every game you buy on Steam, 30% of what you pay goes to Valve. So it's a 30-70 split, whereas like I think Epic's taking 12% only. Or maybe it's like 13, whatever. But either way, it's less than half of what Steam is taking. And so especially for like indies, that's a big fucking deal, because like every 50 cents is important to them. So while Steam's super easy to find indies on right now, well, by comparison, like more there, I think that what Epic is doing will be a boon to indie developers going forward. Yeah,
like Switch Store, even though it's impossible, like Nintendo Switch, even though it's impossible to find anything, if you know exactly what you're looking for, it's very easy for indie developers to post their games on. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I think that, again, Steam has not had competition, and now that they do, I think I play more indie games on Switch than I do my PC, because indie games are mostly like single player, maybe a couple, maybe co-op, but they're not online based, and you just get to play the games. I would never like. I don't like to like if I'm sitting my high-powered $1,200 PC, I'm gonna play a goddamn high graphic game. But if I'm sitting on my couch, like, or on the bus or something, that's why I play them. So I played a lot of games that I missed on that I knew about that I just never played because I didn't want to, because I had other games to play. But now I do.
I totally agree, because like when the new Doom comes out, I want to play that on my PC. I want to play it on my desktop gaming rig where I'm just pumping out the graphics. But you know, when I played Celeste, I didn't even think for a moment about buying it on Steam. Yeah, I was getting it on Switch. Why wouldn't I get it on Switch? And like even games that have been out already on Steam and like I could maybe get a little bit cheaper, like Hollow Knight or something, I was like, no, I'm gonna play it more if it's on Switch. I know I will. You know, I just played through Dead Cells on Switch. I've played through The Messenger on Switch. Celeste was it Bad North or whatever, like just got a demo and is like on a 10% discount. So I'm like, well, I was interested in that. I'm going to check out the demo and maybe I'll grab it. Like the Switch has, I mean, that was one of the other topics we wanted to talk about. So I guess we can just dive into it. Is the Switch has become like this insane indie game machine. Yeah. Like, and you're seeing over and over developers being like, yeah, we sold as much on the Switch as we did ever combined.
Yeah, because it's just like, because I like, for me, I play them more, and like Nintendo honestly like has their great games, but they don't really have that many games on the Switch. So like that's what I play. And then so I think the main topic that I think is interesting, I don't think Steam is keeping up. And I think all of these other competitors, the Switch, Epic Game Store, Discord, I don't think maybe the other like good old games and Ubisoft, or I don't think they tried to be Steam. I don't think they're competitors anymore. But these newcomers are like super high priority in the consumer's perspective, I think. And if Steam doesn't get their shit together, they're gonna lose. Like, because like us, we have these huge libraries that we're not willing to get rid of. But kids playing fucking Fortnite, that's the only game they play because it's free.
Yeah,
they're gonna, when they grow up and actually have a little bit of money, then they're gonna buy the games on the store that they've been using since they were in 6th grade.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that. That's actually a pretty good point. They're gonna grow up having used the Epic Game Store forever, and then
why would they get rid of it?
Exactly. Oh,
that's exactly like us in Steam, I guess. Really,
exactly. I
like
mean,
once you have a couple hundred games in your Steam library,
why the hell
you're never gonna get rid of it? Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's a fair point, because we grew up with certain things, and it's just the way it works.
Well, like Chase, are you ever going to not have the Battle.net launcher on your computer? Like, you've been playing WoW for so long. Jeff, you're half the chickens on the bottom, apparently.
Yeah, now I heard that. Hey!
But no, Chase, like, you'll never get rid of the Battle.net launcher, right? I mean, you've been playing WoW forever.
Exactly. I mean, I'm probably never going to get rid of it.
You're not, Chase!
No, that's true,
I'm
but
probably not going to get rid of it. I did not have it for quite some time, but...
And then you relapsed?
I did have a minor relapse, and now...
Hey, it's okay. Everybody has relapses when it comes to games.
Yeah, I'm not all that concerned about it. Like, I've been Warcraft free again for like...
Warcraft 3's... Warcraft free since 93, that's not true.
No, it's probably been about a month now since I've played anything. And it's probably been close to like 2 months since I've actually done anything. I logged in to do one quest, and then I didn't play again.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. We were talking about the indies there for a little bit, and I used to love Steam for that reason. Yeah. And then Humble Bundle came around, and like, I was getting some big titles there, but also some cool indies. And it was like curated a little bit, which was good. And then Humble opened their store, and I've never given a shit about it since then, basically. But like, with the Switch, like there's getting to be some shovelware in there. It's a little bit annoying, but it seems like the cream of the crop indies, like the top indies of each month, are always like in their best sellers. and there's a lot of word of mouth about them between like the subreddit or IGN's podcast and such.
Yeah,
and so I'm finding them a lot there, and I like that personally.
And there's a lot of curated Switch lists because their store is god awful. I mean, but that's Nintendo. They don't understand how the internet works. But,
don't get me started.
Yeah, I know, that's a whole nother thing. But
Next
they do
episode.
But there are people who watch their store and they have curated a list. So I've like picked out, like, I know the ones I want to look at, but then there's also games I've never heard of that like I wouldn't even have considered, and now I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up for $5. Like, play it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I absolutely watch the eShop for their sales on those items. Like, and I set up my little wish list and I'll check it and stuff. And like, it almost feels like old Steam where I'm like, oh, this game's on like a 10% sale. I'll wait till it's on 25.
Yeah,
Who hasn't
I
been
just don't
there?
like games off of Steam in general anymore. Like, I probably shouldn't be such a contender for trying to fight for Steam rights, but like, I just don't buy games anymore. I spend all of my money on League, and
What? All right, leave.
It is so free.
It really is. You really don't need to spend any of that money. You just like the way it looks.
That's an old Penny Arcade comic. I've been playing League of Legends. It's free. Yeah, it's so free. How much have you spent? $20,000.
not quite $20,000, but I spend probably $20 a month, maybe. Like, I wouldn't say like outrageous.
On just skins?
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Wow.
That was the correct reaction down. Down there. That
I think everything's all moved, so I think you're still that way. Yeah.
No, I pointed the right way. You'll see it in a bit.
No, I did see it already. No.
Watch, and then I turn around. Hold on. There it is. See? I got the point right. But yeah, League. I don't know. Let's not even go there right now.
That's a conversation for another day.
No, actually, here's a question. Because the Steam sales thing came up a little bit. I used to look forward to the Steam sales, and there's like 2 a year, and now there's like 2 a month, and I don't even look at them anymore. Like, I even only kind of look at the Christmas sale. Like, the winter sale and the summer sale used to be what Steam did, and they were awesome. And then there was like a Thanksgiving sale and a Halloween sale and a spring break sale.
New Year sale right now.
And there's like, I don't get, and then they're all events, and I'm supposed to like vote, do shit, and like, fuck, I don't give a shit anymore.
Years.
Like, I feel like they tried to pull you in to buy stuff more often by doing these, and I buy shit way less from them because it happens all the time, and because of it, like, their percents off are not nearly as good. Like, maybe that's just me, and it just seems that way, but it's not true, but that was my reaction to it.
Well, it could be just because, like, games were only on sale twice a year, and so a game would come out at the beginning of the year after a sale, and then by the time it was on sale, it had been out for, like, 8 months, or, I guess, 6 months, so usually you're not going to... A game that came out in October's already had probably 3 Steam sales at this point. So
yeah,
so you're probably looking at it and be like, oh, 5% here, okay, 10% here, great. I'll wait a year.
Radiant says the lunar sale is lackluster. When was the last time a sale wasn't lackluster?
It's been a while.
Good question. It has definitely been a while. I mean, you guys are absolutely right. I used to look forward to the sales as well, just because that was when it would be like, oh, hey, awesome game on sale. Of course I would want to pick that up. And now it's just like you look through it and it's like, okay, midweek madness. What do we got here? Crap.
I forgot all about that. They do weekly sales. There's
the midweek
and the weekend shit every week. It's like how the first 5 Humble Bundles were really good, and now like every now and then I see one that's interesting. Like one game out of like the group of 7. I haven't bought a Humble Bundle since like number 8, I don't think. And that was like 2.5 years ago.
Well, their monthly Humble Bundles haven't been so bad. They've been giving away pretty decent games. I feel like last month was probably the first month where I was like, really? Like, that's what you're offering? they offered The Division in last month's, like
The original Division.
The original Division, yeah. Like the new Division comes out like in the next, I don't know, 6 months.
It'll
maybe,
be out 2020 probably.
No,
The original
it's supposed to be this
it's
year.
this year, yeah. I think it's
Okay,
like
2019.
But even if you get that into the Humble Bundle, then you still have to pay for the 3 DLCs for you to even play the game.
I don't think so.
Unless it was the full game.
I'm pretty sure it was
Well, if you want to
everything.
play the full game anyway.
I mean, shouldn't everything come included with the game at this point since it's been out for so long?
Not
Just
what they do on
saying.
goddamn Destiny. Because when you see sales for Destiny 2, and it's like Destiny 2 for $5 but then you have to pay for the 3 DLCs, which ends up being like $60. So you're paying like almost $70 for the full experience. Because if you don't buy that, you're playing with a bunch of people who can't play with you, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I used to look out for on Steam sales. Was like I'd watch for when the DLCs for games that I liked went down, you know, and like I'd snag like, oh, here's all like the actual campaign packs and like the different civilizations for Civ 5. Let me grab all of those because like they're on a really good sale, and like I feel like those are the only sales that even I still care about from them. I don't even know, like, yeah, I don't know. I think Epic Game Store. I hope they succeed because. I don't think it could be bad, really, in the grand scheme of things. If it causes Steam to take less money from their developers, or not their developers, but from the owners of the games, like if they reduce their cut, like that's positive for the community. If it makes them have better, more interesting sales, that's better for the community. Like if we get into an exclusive war, that's bad for the community. Absolutely, but. I mean, if it makes them improve their client, that's good.
I think that's why the other stores have kind of failed. I don't know, like, because like Ubisoft Store and whatever, they all are like Ubisoft games, but good old games, they're the only ones that's kind of competed. But like, why would the people that they're trying to poach are us, who have hundreds of dollars in Steam? So.
Yeah,
like that's the only other like game store that has even gotten close. So they have to do something different. So that's why I think maybe Epic Games has a chance, not because of their platform, but because of because of Fortnite, and then Discord because they have a chance to poach us if they get their store together. Like make it not just all these indie random games, and get some actual real names in here. Then I think Discord could win out, but they definitely have the indie game on lock. Yeah. So if Epic Games could figure if whoever figures it out first, because Discord has young people too, I think is gonna win based on my research. I don't think any other store can even come close.
Going also with that though, the problem is that getting like the major titles and all of that, Steam has more of that money to throw around and just be like, hey, developers, give us this. We're gonna, they have the money to be able to throw at them. So there's another problem. Can Discord keep up monetarily?
Epic does. I don't think Steam throws money at anybody.
No. Steam's had a corner on the market forever. Yeah. That's why they're able to take a 30% cut, because you're the only game in town.
But Epic does, so they can that's what they can do. That's what they did for
with Metro. They absolutely paid Deep Silver a buttload of money, saying, "Hey, you get this cash up front, and we get exclusive rights for 1 year." And I mean, the idea of all those exclusive deals, whether it's console or this with Metro Exodus, is a company weighing if they think the loss in sales will cost them less money than the flat amount of cash they're getting. And in this scenario, Deep Silver says they think it'll cost them less. Now, since then, they've been all salty and shit online, which just not helping their case.
Yeah, I mean, that's just because it was already open on Steam. That was a bad move. They should have gone for another game that wasn't already on Steam. It
was only on pre-sales,
the
though,
Division.
and it was hyped as fuck.
Yeah.
They got the Division on Epic?
I'm pretty sure that's or is that
I don't think it's exclusive though.
it's
Yeah.
Division's definitely not on Steam.
No, it's a
not?
Uplay. Oh no, are you talking about the original Division or
No,
the one that's
No, Division 2.
The Division.
It's on
2.
I don't
Epic.
think it's in pre-sales yet, is it?
I mean, you get on Epic, you can buy
Yeah,
it.
it's only on
Oh.
Epic. Yeah.
Yeah, then they might have snagged that one. Like I know
no,
they
they
snagged
snagged that before it was even available for
Right.
pre-order on Steam. So
yeah,
like
and that's the better way to have done it. But I do understand them, like, if I'm Epic, I don't want to go, okay, well, let's wait till the Division comes out for us to finally have this push. Like, you want to make a push now.
While you're,
Now.
yeah.
PR-wise, it's not seeming to work out.
I do think Fortnite, like, I can't believe it's lasted this long, but it will peter out eventually.
I don't think
I know,
so.
you can say that.
I don't think so. I think it's here to stay.
But League of Legends and Dota 2 are still around.
Exactly. The games you
But those
know.
are-
Warcraft
exactly.
is still around.
There you go. If it has a hook and some people are at it, it's gonna stay. So.
Okay, I can't argue against World of Warcraft, but I would say Dota and League have competitive hooks. But
Right. Like you're talking the esports angle,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
what we're looking at for episode 2.
which I will talk- yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, actually, WoW for quite a while had a pretty big PvP competitive scene.
I mean, I never played it actually.
Neither did I. I just know it existed.
I
It's
never
true.
played the PvP portion, but I played a lot of Warcraft.
I've done some of the PvP stuff, so I mean, yeah, it was
Yeah.
highly competitive for the longest time.
Yeah, I don't think Fortnite's gonna peter out soon. I just think they did such a good job of taking what PUBG did kind of okay and then doing it really well. Like, I've played the game. It's not my kind of game. I'm not gonna play it again.
I just don't
But I
understand.
get it.
It's just so boring.
No,
That's how I
agree.
feel about World of Warcraft. So, like, I don't like the game. It's not my kind of game, but I get the hook. I get the appeal, and people are going to keep playing that game. Absolutely.
It's like Call of Duty. They can release the same thing like 5 freaking times.
You know,
and yet-
they're just updated all the time. Well, and actually, I think that's one of Fortnite's huge advantages. Like,
They do
Yeah,
update it a lot.
off topic here, yeah, they're constantly like updating, changing the game, and like that was a hook for League of Legends for a long time. Is like adding new champions and all that stuff. And World of Warcraft, the it was like every year or two they had an expansion, right?
It was like
Yeah.
every year and a half
Oh,
or
yeah.
so, but then like
Every
once
year and a half.
Activision like got their mitts all over Blizzard,
They
it
fucked
was like
it up. Made
it was
every year.
yearly, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's something that keeps these players. If you have a core game that they love, and then you keep adding stuff to it on a fairly regular basis, depending on what the size of things you're adding are, then you really have people hooked in, and Fortnite's doing a damn good job of that so far. So I think it's gonna keep going for a little while at least. It may end up in the same realm as like Minecraft, where Minecraft is still huge, but you don't really hear about it anymore. It has massive player numbers still, but like you just don't hear about it. And Fortnite will end up there eventually, but I don't think it's gonna just like die off the way a lot of games do.
Can I ask you guys a
Conversation for
personal
next
question?
time.
What's up, Chase?
Personal question here. How many games do you have in your Steam library total, and how many do you have installed currently?
Ooh, see, this would have been something I would have prepped with had I.
Is
known I was
there
gonna be
like a
watching
way to like see it with a actually like counting?
What? Yeah.
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
profile shows how many games you own.
Yeah.
I can
hover
tell you
over
how many
library,
I own.
it should tell you how many games you have.
Yeah, that
I
too.
can tell you how many I own. It's actually 140.
Oh, that's cute.
I know. I know.
Okay. And,
Chase probably has that many installed.
I don't.
and how many do
No.
you have installed, Jeff? You said 140 total. How many installed?
How do you see what's here installed? I see my total games I own, but
So if you just click on the library tab at the top, you should see games, and then in parentheses how many games, and then if you go to it, it'll say installed, and you can see in parentheses how many installed.
As for how many installed,
you
Yeah.
cut. How did you write? You kind of cut for a second. So
Just click on library next to
Yep.
store,
Yep.
and you see games, right? How many games do you have?
69.
Yeah.
Nice.
oh, I thought I
Oh,
was
this guy
Now,
wins.
in the middle of the second section of that drop, in the middle of the second section of that drop down, it says installed. It's recent, installed, and favorites.
I have 47.
All right, you have 47 installed. Okay.
So I have some shared libraries. So my actual games is 214, but with my shared libraries, I have 591.
Right.
And
now,
I have 35 installed.
As for how many I have installed,
3.
Okay. So I have.
Chase has 1,800.
Are you looking me up?
No.
Oh,
Do you have 1,800?
No.
That would have been an incredible guess.
I've got 703 games total, and I've got 1 installed.
oh, I thought I was gonna win with 3.
Oh, what's the 1? This is more important than anything.
I'll give you a nickel if you can guess.
Payday 2, because you never uninstalled after that played.
Nope, that is not the one game.
No, shit, no, I know what it is. Fuck, I actually know.
Right,
Yeah.
It's
let me
Rocket
get it.
League.
Yeah.
It's absolutely Rocket League.
It's Rocket League.
Fuck.
Of course, it's Rocket League.
He's been
That
playing
makes sense.
Rocket League recently. He's
so
streamed it recently.
freaking much. Oh my god.
You know the game I bought the most besides Super Smash Bros. Is Rocket League. I've bought in Rocket League at least 4 times.
I've bought Skyrim at least 4 times, and I've bought Rocket
Skyrim.
League twice.
I bought Skyrim about 4 times too, because I bought it on my Xbox 360,
Yep.
Xbox One, my
Yep.
PC
Yep.
twice. I bought it on my
Yep.
PC twice.
Oh shit! Then I've got 5 because I also have it on.
Wait,
the
why did you
Switch.
buy it on PC twice?
Because-
Yeah.
I wanted the new version. The
Oh,
one-
the remastered?
Wait, no.
Wait, no.
I only bought it for
No,
because
okay,
that one
that's
was
something
free.
that bothers me. I love it when games like they do a remastered edition, and if you already owned it, you get it for free.
Yep. So
Awesome. Like when it's like, no, you have to buy it separately. It's like, fuck you. This game is 10 years old. I bought it back then for full price. Give me that shit now. Like that's just like the bitchy consumer comes out. Me
I
immediately.
will totally admit, actually, the games that I have installed on Steam are games from like the PlayStation era. So
What are you? You only have 3. What are they?
Final Fantasy VII,
Okay.
Final Fantasy IX, and the random one out of that is
Hoonie Pop.
hang on, no, Super Meat Boy.
Oh, there's some good shit right there.
Right?
Some-
And remember, my hard drive crashed like a few months ago, so I can go back through and do all of that again and have fun with it.
I don't know that I've ever bought a game on more than one platform. Like, I generally check my shit, and I'm like, do I have this? Okay, good. I don't have the money to buy it twice.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been super tempted to buy like Final Fantasy 13 on there, just because I want to play through it again. So,
Oh, man.
and
Hey, oh, no. I know how he's bought every Command and Conquer multiple times. 'Cause you buy them when they originally launched, and then you bought, like, the pack that had, like, all of them from a decade. And then there's probably, like, an online, a digital version of that. Yeah, I get it. Oh, man. So, here's a question that comes from, that we've bought them on multiple platforms. Are we glad that we're able to do that, or do we regret the fact that we've spent money multiple times on the same game?
Both.
No.
Yeah. Skyrim
No.
specifically, I shouldn't have bought it so many goddamn times. But then Smash Bros, I've bought it on a bunch of platforms, even the same
Well,
version.
you're talking about different... Wait. How do you buy the same version on multiple platforms? They've all been released on only one.
like Smash, the 3DS, which is the same as Smash 4, and then I
Okay, yes.
broke a disc or something, and then I had to buy it again. And then I
Yeah.
paid all of their fucking DLC ass characters. But Skyrim, it's the same goddamn game I bought 8 fucking times. Or
You bought 8 times?
I think I bought it 5 times.
I still haven't
5
played that
times.
game, actually.
see,
You're wrong.
see,
Oh,
look
no,
at
I
it this way though. If you look at it this way, if you buy it again, you're still supporting that game that you absolutely love.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
Look at
I
it that
get
way. You're still supporting.
That's the only way
game
Chase
that-
Jeff can console himself about buying Final Fantasy VII in
Hey,
2001.
shut- I don't care. Still a good game. Still a good game.
Okay.
When Jeff
so-
gets his Switch, he's so gonna buy all the Final Fantasy.
Oh, and you inquire. quiet there for a second. Missed.
Yeah, you cut out for a second there.
I said when Jeff gets a Switch, he's gonna rebuy all the Final Fantasy games that are coming out on it.
No, actually, I prefer playing them on my PC. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you say that, and then you'll buy them anyway.
So
No.
now that you bring this up, I have a little bit of I have more beef than I should with Bethesda. I've paid at least 4, maybe 5 times for Skyrim, and they still can't afford to put out a game that's decent that's using its own fucking engine.
Dude, we can do a whole episode on Bethesda and the Gamebryo engine.
Bethesda.
You can call it creation all you fucking want. It's Gamebryo Plus. Go fuck yourself, Bethesda.
We'll see in a month about that episode.
Oh god, yeah.
I'm really
can we
hopeful
do just
about.
Episode
Okay, well I
3 is
guess we
just
can just.
Bethesda rage.
Episode 3,
God.
Bethesda. Enough said.
They're actually the reason I got into. I looked up jobs for how to get into programming so I could, because I played Oblivion and right before I went to college, I was like, I want to program video games. So what do I need to do to program video games? So I went into school for that kind of, but then I decided I didn't want to program video games because I realized how hard that was. So I just went to internet.
Did Oblivion make you want to program games? Because I love this game, but it's broken as fuck. Somebody should fix this.
Mostly because I just love it. But I also loved how broken it was too. Because if you min-maxed, holy shit, you could get some funny shit.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's some charm in the busted systems within the Elder Scrolls games. I mean, being able to like create your own spells, and so you can like fly and like throw a nuke at the ground in Morrowind is disgusting. But like,
yeah, but I like the fact. Okay, we can talk about that. We're getting off topic, but I could talk a long time about Oblivion and Skyrim. I never played Morrowind. Yeah. I downloaded it, but I was just like, I'll just go back to Oblivion and play that again.
Tiger Claw, the only game he bought again on PS4 was Final Fantasy X and X-2. Well, guess what? They're both coming to Switch if you own that.
If they release 7 on the Switch, I would totally be on board to buy that again.
I don't remember if 7's one of them. Yeah, 7's one they announced. 7, 10, 10-2, and 12, I believe the ones coming.
I thought it was everything after 7, but if 7's coming, I guess I will be buying that too.
Yeah, well, and I'm thinking about buying 12 because I never played it, but I thought it looked fun.
No.
I played 10 mostly through like twice.
No, don't touch it.
Yeah, nope. 7 is definitely coming to Switch. Yep.
Sweet, then I'll have to buy that again. Because it played like
piss on
PC. But everything after 10 was garbage. We can have that episode 4. Squaresoft sucks these days.
Can we just call it everything after 10 was garbage?
No, because 13...
So here's the full list. 7, 9,
oh, God,
10,
yes.
10-2, and also 12 and Chocobo Mystery Dungeon.
7 and 9 were worth it. Everything else, no. Dies in a fire.
And the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon has like more buddies you can get, so the subtitle is Everybody.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Cuteness overload. You have to buy it now.
All right. We veered way off topic, and half of that was my fault. Do we have more on-topic topics at the moment?
I think we kind of covered them.
We went through everything pretty well. Like, I mean, just talk about the digital storefronts, and indie games even came in there. We did all right. Despite our technical issues in the middle. I'm going to have to put a fun edit in where it's just like technical issue screen.
Yes! Get one of those like preloaded for every single time you guys do Yeti stuff.
This is the only time that's going to happen.
No, you need to edit on my face and my face will spin around while it's saying technical difficulties.
Yes!
No, it should be you as like I can't think of what the suntan lotion, the copper tone, the oopsie baby, like, oh shit!
Yeah.
We can arrange for that photo shoot later.
Duct, was Final Fantasy 12 the one where you started up the game and then went and did something else while the game played itself?
It's true. It is so fucking true.
Well,
that's why
it's like you do licenses and then your people do stuff, but yeah. I don't know. I never played it. I've played Final Fantasy 2 and 10.
Do yourself a favor.
I played through the first disc of 7. I got to Cosmos Canyon. I took a break, and I never fucking came back. Apparently, Cosmos Canyon's a pretty cool place to hang out forever.
You're missing like one of so many good points. All right, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm done.
Jeff is both erect and flaccid with rage at the same time right now.
All right.
Let's get back on topic for a wrap up, though. How about that? I don't. Epic Game Store, I think, will be a positive thing for digital storefronts in general, as long as we don't get into an exclusives war between them and Steam.
Yes, and that's exactly the problem that the Blizzard and then the Ubisoft, all the Origin, all that shit, the exclusives is what kills them. If they can open it up like Epic Games has already started to, even though their store kind of sucks, but they have a lot more games there than
right. Well, like so Origin's fully exclusive. It's just EA does all their stuff on there, and that's part of the reason I don't buy anything from them.
Yeah, so they don't that's why every EA game I buy, even though I don't buy that many, is on Steam. So they need to get their as long as they like
Sean's
Steam.
Still playing The Sims 2 exclusive on Steam.
No, they don't.
No, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
If they don't, yeah. So I think they could be big because of the Fortnite player base. Also Discord, if they can get a little bit more money to fund their store, I think Discord would be huge. Or another. I don't think Steam is here to stay. Is my.
As a monopoly, or you think Steam's going down?
I think Steam's gonna. I think shocking. Steam will be gone unless they radically revamp their store. I think Steam will go away within the next 10 years. A long time in video game years, 10 years. But I think
crazy.
I think another store will take over their
maybe 10 years from now, Steam will be the Epic Games of today, where we're like, ew, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah. I just think they're too slow to move. Steam is just they're too slow to move, and in the internet these days, it's just not how it works.
Well, I think I've talked myself into maybe looking into it. I really don't want to miss the Division 2, and I don't I wish that Steam would take this as an opportunity to rebalance how much money they're taking from their people.
Yes, I do think if they don't even have to redo their whole platform if they change their money balance, because then developers would be more inclined to stay there. But if they don't eventually change how their platform works, I'm talking about the back end code, it's too goddamn slow, then they'll fade out.
Here's a compromise. I mean, I know the Bethesda launcher, but fuck that. How about Steam just carries Bethesda games, because they're both so fucking busted on the back end that it makes sense.
Well, that's why Activision has taken Destiny 2 and now, was it Battlefield 5 or Call of Duty 5 or one of those 5 shooter games is now rolled into the Battle.net. So
that's because they're I mean.
You know what game won't be on that though? Destiny 3.
Thank God.
Fucking. They got out of that house fire.
Please, God, Destiny was one of my favorite games. Please make it good. Please.
No. Here's a final question for you guys, though. Can you imagine a online gaming community without Steam?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it existed beforehand. It'll exist without it.
Twitch, and I'm surprised Twitch isn't trying to get it on the online store if they haven't already. Well,
Twitch is owned by Amazon. Amazon tries to sell you everything under the sun, so they kind of already are there. They get all the Amazon Prime freebies. So
and Steam has profiles and stuff, but how much have people ever used those?
No, it's not.
There's the curating profiles that people pay any attention to see what they've rated games as and said about them. But person-to-person contact in it is very low. I've used the chat some and the voice chat some ever. But now that Discord exists, I have no reason to use their chat or voice chat. I'll just use Discord.
Michael makes a good point. He said that Twitch has a launcher, and I did know that because it's got the all of the old curse.net stuff. So like all of like the Warcraft add-ons now is handled through the Twitch app.
Yep. Yeah, I remember when my Curse app all of a sudden became a Twitch app. Super confused. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd be surprised if Steam goes away, but I could definitely see that it becomes not the prominent player if they're not able to adapt. But to be fair, Valve always has the ace up their sleeve where if they need to get people back on Steam, they just release number 3 of any of their fucking games.
They probably have a vault right now. Like,
seriously,
they've got the golden master copies of Portal 3, Half-Life 3,
Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3, Counter-Strike 3. Like, all of those games would fucking immediately sell 1 million copies.
The gold masters are probably already printed and pressed every single year, and they're updated. They're just like, is this year the year? And they like magic 8-ball, and it's like, try again next year.
Let's leave it on the lock.
At this point, I think somebody at Valve cracked that 8-ball open fluid just to see.
It's probably like a 1 in 20 chance. It's probably like, did you get a crit roll? Okay, we'll release this year. That's a D&D reference.
You have to roll a nat.
It totally
3.
was.
I got my favorite map back there, so.
Yeah. You have to roll a nat 3 in order to release a game.
I've got a lighter with the D20 on it.
Oh, there you go.
That's a thing.
Well, no, I burn a lot of like candles and shit, so yeah.
Burn a lot of shit? You shouldn't do that. It smells terrible.
Oh, shut up. You know what I meant. God damn it.
I didn't. Explain it to me.
I take a candle.
No, don't explain it to him. God damn it.
Off the rails.
All right. Does anybody have some parting comments on the digital game stores, indie games in that space? Anything like that?
They're good.
I think we covered everything I was going to bring up, so.
Chase is making fun faces. It seems like we're pretty well wrapped up. I don't know. I think the internet's doing their normal overreaction to the exclusive shit with Metro.
Yeah,
it's the internet, man. It's everything. Just
hopefully everybody forgets that everybody forgets this happened in about a month or so, and then we can go on with better competition. That's all I think and hope. That's where
there you go.
So I guess that wraps it up for the first episode of Yeti Set Go.
All right.
Chase, do you wanna send us off?
Yes.
Do we have an outro?
We do not.
There's an out screen. There's also an in screen, and he didn't use either of those.
Oh, fuck. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. This is what happens when you fucking trust a retard to run
all this shit.
So, how about you just go, and for
this is why I'm running episode 2.
as you should have run this one. I guess I should learn, but fucking A, Jesus. Fucking A, Jesus.
Right. Well, even though I was the host, I'll go ahead and outro. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for your comments. That's going to be it for the episode 1 of Yeti Set Go. We will see you all again in 2 weeks, Monday, and we will start on time at 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Have a good night, guys. Peace.
We love you all, and to all a good night.